You know, I think it's about time that the world wake up to the fact that Elon Musk is the mainstream media. A lie can travel halfway around the world before the truth has a chance to put its pants on. That quote, often attributed to Mark Twain, has never been more true or more terrifying. Today, the global conversation isn't shaped by journalists or editorial boards. It's shaped by billionaires with Wi-Fi. The most powerful among them, Elon Musk. The man who controls Twitter, now rebranded X, has quietly transformed it into the largest unregulated propaganda machine in modern history. He didn't buy the platform for fun, he bought it for power. And now, that power is unrivaled. Let's look at the numbers. When CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, CBS, ABC, and NBC each break a story, their combined reach within the first 48 hours across cable, digital platforms, and syndicate news, it's estimated to be between 60 to 80 million viewers depending on the news cycle. But Elon Musk? He has 182 million followers on X, and that number grows daily. But here's the catch. Every user who's on X is now notified when he posts, regardless of whether they follow him. That means every one of X's 550 million monthly active users can potentially see his posts. In 48 hours, a single Musk tweet, especially one containing outrage or misinformation, can hit well over 100 million impressions, sometimes crossing 200 million with little to no effort. This is not social media anymore. It's not even broadcasting. This is a behavioral engineering at a planetary scale type system. See, Musk didn't become openly political until after acquiring Twitter. Before that, he was a mysterious genius who just sent rockets to Mars and sold electric cars. But after he bought it, all of a sudden he removed all the content moderators, reinstated conspiracy theorists, mocked public health officials, began tweeting inflammatory right-wing talking points, often directly aligned with MAGA narratives. Coincidence? Not likely. Musk didn't just buy Twitter. He bought a megaphone loud enough to drown out the truth. When he posts something, even blatantly false, it sets off a chain reaction. First, he says, okay, I'm gonna take a post, let's say the news out there said that the sky was blue. So he'll go on there and he'll say, the sky is green. Then Joe Rogan repeats it. 50 right-wing YouTubers echo it, most of whom have direct or indirect funding ties to foreign actors like Russia or dark money packs. Then it hits Facebook, memes and things of that nature, Reddit posts, and of course TikTok videos. And before you know it, in under an hour, the lie becomes global. Take the example of COVID vaccines, or climate science, or election security. Professional journalists alongside peer-reviewed researchers will present vetted, cautious, evidence-based conclusions. They'll get on the news, they'll bring a scientist on, they'll bring some of the most intelligent people in the world to come on the news and actually show through evidentiary proof that the sky is blue. But Musk can post, nah, that's fake, sky's green. And in minutes, 100 million people have seen it. The result of this, of course, is that millions of people believe the sky is green. And when the few who know better try to correct it, they're called the woke mind virus carriers, or Marxists, or globalist shills, or worse. We're watching reality be written in real time, literally, or I should say rewritten. We're watching reality be rewritten in real time, right before our eyes. Because what used to be fringe, radical ideology has become normalized. The concepts of science and education and journalism have been repositioned as suspicious or evil. Meanwhile, conspiracy theories, grifting, authoritarian logic, somehow they're all given credibility, this credibility from mass exposure. The more it's said, the more it must be true. Literally. Really think about that. Because there are millions and millions, tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars being spent behind pushing this nonsense so that the more it's said, the more it completely oversaturates the social media sphere, the more it must be the truth. And now the truth is now conspiracy. The whole thing is flipped backwards. And it's not just Elon Musk. Mark Zuckerberg is just as guilty, joining in from another angle by suppressing political posts on Instagram and Facebook. He's not amplifying falsehoods. Well, He kind of is, because he does get advertisement money for people who give him money to promote falsehoods and misinformation. But he's not necessarily trying to silence facts. However, Democrats, progressives, labor organizers are increasingly unable to coordinate or share messages. Protesters have complained they can't put together mass protests or form groups because their algorithm, or the algorithm from Facebook, is burying things that they post about this. So with algorithms burying content, even the truth can't go viral. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is suing media outlets he disagrees with, threatening to imprison journalists. The chilling effect is real, folks. Editors hesitate before they release stories. Reporters tread carefully when asking him questions, scared that he's gonna bite back at them or say that they can never be allowed in the press room anymore at the White House. Newsrooms are shrinking, and while Democratic media weakens, the authoritarian propaganda machine grows stronger and louder on the internet. We now live in literally two different realities, and only our enemies benefit from that. Think about that. Only our enemies benefit from that. Russia, China, and far-right international movements thrive on this chaos. By funding cynical, anti-democratic influencers, they exploit the cracks in American society and accelerate polarization. As Musk did in Wisconsin, where he reportedly incentivized certain communities to vote in line with his interests, so did Putin's agents amplify disinformation during every major US election cycle since 2016. These are facts. These cannot be disputed. The FBI was investigating what was going on before Trump even announced he was running for president. Before he even announced he was running for president, Russia was trying to interfere in our information cycle in the country. And so this idea that it was just a liberal lie that was made up to attack Trump is false. It's false. But they aren't doing this because it's profitable. They're doing it because it's effective. They don't care if they lose money pushing this narrative. They know in the long run, brainwashing and rewriting history, rewiring American thinking, is going to be beneficial to their agenda. And they don't care how much money they lose in the process to make that happen. And that's the challenge. Investing in fact-based journalism, ethical tech, and public interest media isn't wildly lucrative. But if we don't start funding truth, we will lose democracy. If we don't value freedom of thought over shareholder profit, we will lose the republic. Wisconsin made a choice. Organizers, unions, and Democratic leaders stood up and fought back against a flood of disinformation. And they won. That's the playbook, guys. But we need billionaires too. We need billionaires, philanthropists, and tech engineers on the side of reality, not just on the side of returns. Because this isn't about left versus right anymore. This is about democracy versus digital monarchy. The battle for America isn't in the profit margins, it's in your phone. And if we don't watch their media machine with one of our own, if we don't match their media machine with one of our own, we won't just lose the messaging war, we'll lose the country. We'll lose our democracy. Guys, this is a serious thing. This is a real serious issue. You see, I don't really care about Democrat, Republican. Barack Obama once said, there is no Democratic America, there is no Republican America. There is only one United States of America. And as long as we are divided, we will fall. Because a divided house cannot stand, guys. I mean, this is common sense. This is logic that's been around forever. We need to have people funding and supporting the truth, even if it isn't profitable. We need to combat the nonsense. And to be honest, it is profitable because there's ways to make money off of YouTube and video and media. Lots of ways to make money doing it. We need people to invest in the truth because right now we're up against all kinds of money behind the lies, pushing for an agenda for the billionaire oligarchs, the ones that control Silicon Valley, to essentially get rid of democracy and replace it with a monarchical state where we have some sort of CEO running things, where they turn the entire country into corporate fiefdoms. And that's exactly the plan, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. Vile Maxim. Please like and subscribe my videos. And make sure you hit the bell. Thanks.